Hi, we're doing the lecture starting today in my garage because I want to show you a couple things about different parts of the PLC communication, and then we'll relate that with our virtual environment. So here I've got the three basic components. I've got my factory with all my lights and buttons and motors and different things going on, all the physical things that have to move and send signals to the PLC. I've got my PLC. This guy, this is a compact Logix, and I'm holding it in front of my face so the camera can focus on it. So this guy has the controller in this section. It has inputs and outputs here, and it's kind of a all-in-one package. You notice it's one piece and it can be expanded. Then down on the bottom here, we've got some Ethernet connection ports. So that's my PLC. It's not wired up yet, that comes next, but these inputs and outputs would wire up to my physical factory. The third component is my laptop and the programming software. So here I've got Studio 5000 open on my laptop. Now these three components have to all talk to each other. The Studio 5000 has to talk to the PLC, and the factory has to talk to the PLC. To do that, so for the factory, it's a lot of wires. They're not hooked up yet, but these wires will all hook into these inputs and outputs. And that's how the PLC and the factory talk to each other. Between the programming software, between the programming software and the PLC, we use an Ethernet cable, but to use that we have to have a communication protocol, and we use RS links to set that up. Okay, let's go in the office and we'll see how this relates to our virtual setup using simulators for the PLC and a simulator for the factory. Let's go. Hi, I'm back in my office and I've got all the software loaded up on my computer that we're going to need. So just like in the garage, we've got Studio 5000. That's where we're going to do our programming. We've got a PLC, in this case it's the emulator, and we've got a factory. We've got factory I/O running. Now we need to be able to talk from the PLC to Studio 5000 and to this virtual factory. So we need a different type of communication. We've been using RS links and we're going to change that. So let me expand my Studio 5000. I want to change the communication software. Now I've got this project open. This is actually for one of the labs that's coming up. So if I go select communication software, it gives me an error. It can't do it with a project open. What I need to do is, I don't want to close Studio 5000, I just want to close this project. So I'm going to go close. Project is closed. Now I want to go communication, select communication software. Now I can do it. So I'm just going to change to factory talk. Hit OK. And now I can reopen that project. Now when I go Who Active, it's going to look a little bit different. And remember, we have to have communication in two directions. We have to have between Studio 5000 and the PLC, and we have to have between the PLC and our virtual factory. This usually takes a little longer the first time you do it, and then it's a little quicker. Okay, two things I need to do here for my two communication paths. If I expand backplane, then here's my PLC controller. There's my controller in slot 2, and I'm ready to go online with that. But before I do that, I want to set factory I/O up. And for factory I/O, I need to give it an IP address. So down here where it says Ethernet, Ethernet, I'll expand that. And that's going to show the computers that I have on my little network here. And this guy here, Paul's black laptop, that's my laptop. It's black. It's one of these ThinkPads. So the IP address for this laptop is 10.0.0.18. I'm going to put that information in factory I/O so it knows where to go to talk. I'll close this. Here is factory I/O. And I've just got this little scene that I made for one of our labs that's coming up. We've got some lights and buttons, and I got a conveyor and some more lights, an e-stop, a few things. So first thing I want to do is go File, Drivers, and you want to select the Allen Bradley Logix 5000 for the driver. There's a lot of different drivers that this can work with, but we're using Logix 5000. Then after you tell it the driver we're using, we have to configure it. And here under host, that's where you put in that IP address. The IP address on your computer is going to be different than mine. So you have to look up with Factory Talk to see what your IP address is and put that in. So I've got the address for factory I/O, and I've got my communication ready. So I'm going to go Who Active, expand my backplane, click on my controller, it's in slot 2, and I'm going to go online. So click Go Online. It comes up with a few warning windows. Now I've got a couple green lights here. Looks like I'm not in run mode. Change over to run mode. Okay, I've got all 3 green lights on Studio 5000, so I know I'm good there. Now I'll go back to factory I/O, and I need to connect that also. So I'll click Connect, and everything's connected, but I've got lots of errors because I don't have my tag set up right. But now I'm working with Studio 5000 is talking to my controller, and factory I/O is talking to my controller. And so everything is talking. Okay, that's all it is to it. Thanks.